War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the War Report After Dark. Welcome back, Eric, to the show. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, buddy.
Finally making his return. Money-making Mitch is taking the night off. He's not feeling great.
Get well soon.
Not sure about Kat, but I'm going to assume she's not coming because she's not on
She has a bunch of sick kids for like a week.
It's been going through the house, I know. So welcome, everybody, to another edition of the War Report After Dark. Well, I say it every week, but we got a lot to cover. I do want to point out one of the reasons, because I just love to say I'm right. I do want to point out that I did start with Sami Zayn. I'm on a roll, and I did call last week that I was pretty confident Sami Zayn was going to take.
Yeah, you did in the chat. Yep.
Yeah, and it was an outstanding scrimmage. And we'll break everything down. Another day where, well,
yes, sir.
Way before we even went live, David Rosca, our friend over at YouTube, has made some comments. Trish Stratus was 8 months old on July 18th, 1976, when Nadia Comaneci became a first perfect 10 in Montreal. Hell, Kat is here. What's up,
She has
Kat?
to be outside so the germs can't get her.
Exactly.
Yeah. Surprised she's not wearing. Oh, you don't sound good either. We're going through some comments from David Rosca to open the show. Nadia Comaneci hit 7 perfect 10s on July 18th, 1976. And he also points out that Sami Zayn will upset Gunther at WrestleMania 40, which I got to tell you, that's the first thing David Rosca and I have agreed on in quite some time. And I do think Sami Zayn is going to take it. We have a Facebook user. Nice, love it. So happy Sami Zayn won. And welcome back, Eric. I'm going to assume it's Tara.
Steve.
I can. Yeah.
So wait, you telling me you don't agree that Nadia Comaneci is the best gymnast to ever live?
I mean, it's hard to argue. It's between her and Simone Biles.
How do you argue that?
I got to be
honest.
honest.
I do not agree with him on that.
I have to be honest. I couldn't give a flying fuck less, to be honest with you. I love David Rosca, but I could give a shit less. To be quite honest, I'm not into gymnastics. I could care.
When it comes around, I watch it. Like the floor exercise, I'm familiar with it, but like, I don't know. Like 96, remember Atlanta, the girl with the broken ankle? Like that was great.
Strug.
Yes.
I could care less.
And then Kate Maroney with
I have a question for
face.
David, though.
You have a question for David?
I do. I want to know if he knows what was the mistake made on July 18th, 1976 with Nadia's beam routine.
Oh, shit.
That's his challenge for the night.
David, Google. No Google.
David, I got one for you. I know that the scoreboards in Montreal did not go up to 10.
Shush! That's what I was talking about!
Oh,
She scored a 1.
The crowd was not happy because they thought that the judges were biased against her, and then they had to like clarify over the PA.
For the first time in Olympic history, it was a perfect 10. But they gave her a 1.
See, when you said what was wrong with it, I thought you meant what was wrong with her actual balance beam routine. I didn't mean to spoil the answer.
I would have given it away. I'm sorry, it wasn't even her balance routine. It was her her uneven bar routine.
It was uneven bars. Okay. Wow.
All right, so let's talk wrestling.
Yes. That was listen, we got it in. This is the gymnastics trivia portion. We're 5 minutes. Now we're done. Wrestling.
All right. As long as we're done. Because I'm starting to feel like I do when I stare at this fucking card. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
might as
by
well
the
be
way,
a gymnast.
And by the way, Kat, I love you. Fuck you for your comments that night. For all you listening that aren't aware of why I'm saying that, she had the nerve to say, "How excited is everyone if?"
No, I said, "How much will everyone pee their pants if it happened?"
Right, if shit stain starts and Shayna Baszler won the tag title.
On your birthday, I would have.
On Steve's birthday. Yeah,
that would have just been like poetic justice for like all the people that are tired of me talking about shit stain Starks, you know. But
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it happened just for the rant tonight.
And the icing on the cake, literally, was that she didn't win. So all is good. All is good.
Was kind of hoping just for the rant that would have been tonight. That would.
Oh my God! Could you imagine how bad tonight would have been?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You might have actually burned that card. Like you might have gotten a lighter and burned the card on the show.
I might not have been on the podcast because I might have broken my computer screen.
No tripping over cords.
I'm sitting and the cords are all tucked away and tied up. Thank you very much.
I would have made Autumn make a picture with both tag team belts on her shoulders that night or something.
That picture of Triple H holding all the belts, but it's just Zoe Stark. No, they did not win. They didn't win. They didn't win.
No,
but Steve, with all love, happy birthday, El Capitan. Fuck you too.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Borderline abuse.
Yeah. So I think we should start with SmackDown from last week. Because I mean, only the really thing to like really talk about at this point is what happened with our tribal chief, the bloodline with The Rock, who came out with what gave me Black Adam feels. A updated entrance with the electricity. I thought that was very cool. Like, it shows you it doesn't have to be all fire and pyro, and like all it could be is like, you know, he's the most electrifying man. So all the electricity, and then like the way the lighting was and the way he was standing, it gave me Black Adam feels. I liked it. I liked the new entrance. I loved the promo. And then yeah, a lot of people, I know, Vince, you're one of them. You're down about the whole storyline. I think.
Wait until we get to Raw, buddy. Wait until we get to Raw. Okay.
But I got to tell you, I think. Yeah, I have some things about Raw too, and I think we're actually going to agree on something, but we'll get there. I am excited for night 1 and 2 pertaining to this, and everything I am hearing is that The Rock is not going anywhere, that he is staying after Mania. So this may not all be ending at WrestleMania. Like, there's a lot of ways this can go, and it's not a guarantee anymore of what is going to happen. I have an idea of what I think is going to happen, and as I'm sure we all do. But it's not set in stone at this point. Like, it's not, this is definitely happening. Like, we really don't know 100% what's going to happen because of the status that we're hearing that The Rock is not going anywhere. So that tells me that not everything has to end at Mania. You know what I mean?
2 more years of finishing the story.
It doesn't even have to be about Cody and the story.
That's true.
That part might end at Mania. They are in the last inning, as Cody says.
We might get the civil war between the bloodline.
The Samoan Civil War.
I mean, that could build all the way to War Games. Can you imagine?
The Wolfpack version of the bloodline.
What?
The Wolfpack version of the bloodline.
Yeah, bloodline seriously. LWO.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean,
bring in the Tongans and they're the LWO. Come on, brother. You know?
I mean, there's enough guys that they can bring in a part of the bloodline that are free agents right now that they could actually put that together if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Now they have the stipulation of The Rock, I guess, offered it up, and Cody has accepted that if he loses at WrestleMania, he can't challenge for the WWE Championship anymore. This sounds an awful lot like something they did in AEW a few years ago, but how dare I say that WWE is copying things from AEW when they have this stipulation, and then Shawn Spears come out sitting in a chair with the exact same entrance that he did in AEW, but I'm not going to say anything.
I mean, but the reality is, I like the build. I like where this is going. I
think they blew it on Monday, but we'll get to it.
We see that's where we're going to agree, and we'll agree on why I think too. And we haven't really talked about this prior, but
no,
the confrontation with Rollins and Cody and The Rock and Roman in the ring, and the promo back and forth, and the receipt from Cody back to The Rock, and that's how it went off the air. I thought it was all great. Right. It was great. The storytelling was great. The only thing that bothered me in that promo is that I feel like The Rock is running out of shit to say because he keeps repeating the same stuff over and over again. Like he keeps calling Rollins the emoji and like this and that. Like it was just getting kind of, but other than that, it was great all around.
You forgot one part that sucked.
Go.
Cody crying again, man.
That's on Raw. We're gonna get
all right. We're all okay.
Yeah,
this is a War Report bingo, folks. We've never had this happen where we're all waiting to talk about the same segment and feel the same way about it.
Well, you know what? You know what? Fuck it. Let's go. Listen, we'll talk about both at the same time because I think everyone is going to agree that sit down with Michael Cole and Cody Rhodes last night was absolutely fucking horrible. It was good up until Cody started to cry, which, first of all, to me came across like a bitch. Two, it was a horrible cry because he went from crying his eyes out to immediately like tough guy Rhodes.
Yeah,
like
there were
phony, no tears. Right? It was fake. It was phony. Like it would have been. Maybe I wouldn't feel this way if I saw actual tears and it was actual crying. But it was a horrible fake, I'm a movie actor cry without giving me the onion to get ready to fucking... You know what I mean? Like, it came across horrible, and I've never been so behind The Rock and Roman ever in my life. Like,
now, this is the first time I've started to see pushback on Cody online. After that segment, because I saw on this one wrestling group I'm on Facebook that's absolutely awful, but I only stay on there because they're all WWE homers and that's all they talk about. So like they're the ones that buy the tickets and shit. One guy posted, Cody's crying so much he should challenge for the women's title at WrestleMania, and then one other guy said, I can't wait for us to finish the story at WrestleMania so Cody will stop fucking talking about it every time he's on TV. So like the finish the story, my daddy, my brother, alligator tears thing is really starting to run thin. I mean, they were both adult males, so maybe it's just starting to run thin with that subset, and like the women and the kids are still behind them. But I feel like
it wasn't even what he said that I had a problem with.
Right, it wasn't. It had nothing to do. It was just
more than the fake cry.
It was unnecessary.
The first time I saw Cody cry in person was in 2016, I want to say. After he got released, he was at a Northeast Wrestling show. He was wrestled in the main event, and there was, it was a small gym. There was what, 300 or 500 people in there, and he wrestled like it was WrestleMania and put on the match of the night. Of course, cuts a very emotional promo afterward, thanking everybody, talking about his dad who had recently passed away. Thanking Michael who ran the show, all this blah blah blah, and cried. And then the second time I saw Cody cry was the second show on that tour. And then the third time I saw Cody cry was the third time on that tour. And the 187th time I saw Cody cry was on AEW after he beat his brother. Said, I need my brother to tag team with me. And then the next time I saw Cody cry was, I'm fighting Anthony Ogogo. He's an Olympic boxer and my daughter's mixed race. Bleh. And then the next time it's just a series of Cody crying. And if you've been following his career for the last 6 years, like it's a crutch. It's a crutch that he uses because it's cheap in the way that Ric Flair used to bleed every match is cheap, or John Moxley bleeds in every match is cheap. It's just it's a cheap emotional ploy thing to try and tug on people's heartstrings. But like you said, Steve, if you're crying and all of a sudden you look up and you give the mean mug face, were you really crying in the first place?
Well, see, that's what I mean. Like, if it came across real and genuine, we may not be having the conversation the way we're having it. I don't necessarily have a problem. Again, like I said, I don't have a problem necessarily with what he said. I mean, this entire thing is about him finishing the story. It is what it is. But to make it so blatantly obvious that the tears are not real.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he stopped talking about Brandy, he turned it right off. That was the annoying part.
Right.
Yeah.
Wrestling is known to have its moments, right, that you remember because they're so real. And the fact that you seen this guy put crying in his arsenal, it's like him crying is one of John Cena's 3 moves. You're gonna try to clothesline me. I'm gonna go under you.
That's
I'm gonna put you down. You can't see me. I'm gonna elbow you. It's like we know it's coming, bro. Like, what are we doing?
They used to do that with Big Show a lot too.
Oh,
What,
Big Show
make
would
him
cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd always have the Big Show cry. Stephanie McMahon made him cry at least 3 times that I can
You're
remember.
gonna cry. Psh, you're gonna cry. Psh.
And then he
He's
had
the
to
one
knock
crying
Dusty
now.
Oh my God.
It's pathetic. I just, it's just Cody. Cody just has to. There has to be something else. Like, he's not a bad actor. Come up with more. Like, what are we doing?
Right, but the thing that I also don't like about it is we're so focused on finishing the story, and then Cole's like, he's like, Michael Cole at WrestleMania, you're going to be able to say on commentary, Cody Rhodes finished his story. And if he said, like, and then they put in the note, you can never challenge for the title again stipulation. Like, it's just all, to me, we're so far away from WrestleMania, and the result already feels so locked in that it's not. That's the not intriguing part to me. If they manage to really shock me at WrestleMania and like Tama Tonga comes out and gives the gun stun or whatever to Cody and causes Roman to win, I'll give him a lot of credit for completely swerving my expectations here. But the way they're doing it, Cody's crying every week. Like, it really seems they're just hammering it home. They're like, Cody's going to win the title on WrestleMania Sunday. You better tune in. And it's just like,
so
I like a little bit of
for the last X amount of WrestleManias on Sunday that someone's going to win the title at WrestleMania, and then we still get Roman still walking away.
Yeah, but this is like I think I said it last week. It's like a plane landing and all those lights on the runway. It's like these are all the lights, and this is like we're trying to land the plane now.
Here's what I think is going to happen. The way I see this playing out, The Rock and Roman are going to win night 1.
For sure.
Now it's a bloodline rules. There's no way in hell Cody's going to win. Cody is going to win. He's going to beat all the odds. Maybe Austin's going to come out and help. Something's going to happen. But in the
Rock
end,
turns on Roman Reigns.
Exactly. That's
something.
exactly what's happening.
I don't know that The Rock is turning on him that quickly. If Rock is staying around, they may keep him heel and keep him with the bloodline for a little bit. I'm not convinced that he's the one that's turning, but I could see something like Austin or something like that happening.
Yeah, you need someone to be able to neutralize The Rock in that moment.
Right. And then Cody will win, and I think Seth Rollins is the losing night 2 to Drew McIntyre. And icing on the cake would be a fucking Priest cashes in and takes it from.
Could we talk about the walking emoji for a second?
Sure.
I'm right now. Look, Vince. There's a lot I agree with you with, but one of the things I did not agree with you with until this fucking guy did what he did is the value of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Holy shit! It looked like a Lego to me. Now that Seth Rollins is the Robin to fucking what's his name's Batman. Cody's Batman.
Right.
It's got me like, why? Like, you have your own story. Like, what are they doing? Like, why didn't they put Randy Orton there that has a legitimate reason to hate the bloodline?
Oh, no, that would be interesting.
That would have been the best thing.
Legacy
Orton
versus the bloodline?
Yeah.
Or if Rollins really is going to be the one to turn on Cody and cost him the title, because they did plant that seed with Cole, saying, how do you trust a guy like Seth Rollins? So, and we've been saying that's possible also. So you can't rule out him being the one that turns.
Why would you need that on bloodline rules? Oh, okay. He beats the odds. He tries to tag and he gets off the side of the ramp, side of the ring. side of the apron. Yeah, he could do that to him. Like
Yes.
what Dakota did to Bailey the other day.
Yeah.
Right.
I can see that working.
Which that was a missed opportunity too. They should have saved that for
Yeah.
it to
But
happen
again,
Mania.
you could have done that with Orton, and you don't devalue this guy's title that much.
Well,
like-
because I think they're pushing to do Orton, Logan Paul.
Yeah, I know, but still, they could have done something with Logan Paul. Like, what the fuck is our boy doing? We don't even talk about him anymore. I said it. I said
LA
it 4
Knight?
months ago. 4 months ago, I said it. Go
Yeah.
back to the tape.
Back of the line. Yeah.
When was the last time you've seen him? Like, they forgot about him.
He was looking for AJ Styles the other night.
Oh, right, he has that AJ style match. That will happen. But I mean, come on, man.
Talk to you.
That's a shame what
Yes.
he was a few months back to what he is now on the card.
And yet, when they do use him, he still gets the pop.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So the crowd hasn't forgotten. The WWE is just not using him.
And so
He
for an
currently
example-
has nothing to do with Mania right now, correct? Nothing.
I mean, maybe he'll get that AJ
He
Styles
hasn't
match.
made the match between him and AJ yet. No.
or if they're going to do the Andre Battle Royal, they're going to fucking put him in there. I'll be so pissed if that's
That'd
what he
be a
gets
waste.
downgraded to.
Yeah, but look on the other side of the coin there on Raw, and this blew my mind too. Sami Zayn, who was forgotten for a very long, as he was after losing to Roman Reigns, as most people
And
happened.
look at him now.
And now they reheated him. People believe in him, and they want him to upset.
Which I just want to
Gunther.
say this. That match was fantastic.
Yep.
Start to finish. It was all great. It all made
Very good.
sense. The fact that Bronson then took it to Sammy afterwards and Sammy still pulled it out and the final match, I loved everything about him and Gable. The fact that Gable picked him up and said, no, we're going to start this the right way. The actual match itself, Gable wrestled like a fucking machine. It was fantastic. And the finish was great. It was just all around fantastic. Happy for Sammy. I really hope they figure out something to do with Gable. Maybe they win him and Otis qualify. So this is the other
for the
thing.
tag team title.
So if you didn't watch Monday Night Raw last night, they made a huge announcement that got me very excited. And lately, there haven't been all that many announcements that are like getting me all, ooh. This got me all excited. They are going to do a 6-team, right? So that's 12 superstars, ladder match, tag team ladder match against the Judgment Day for the tag. That's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Imagine 12 bodies, potentially 12 ladders. This is going to be insane. So another reason to turn in, plus it's giving all these guys a spot at the big show. So very excited for that.
I have mixed feelings.
One big, huge, extra gigantic ladder for R-Truth when he at the end.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Eric. What was that?
I have mixed feelings because on paper, yeah,
Of
that
the
sounds
match?
cool. On paper, that sounds cool. However, that's, in my opinion, all right, just my opinion, that's way too many fucking people.
Well, I was thinking about that, and I kind of do agree with you. That is a lot of people in the ring with ladders and this and that, but you also have to remember, they will utilize the entire outside of the ring, the ramp. They'll be all over the place. You'll probably have people in the crowd. So I don't know that you're going to have everyone in the ring all at once, except the very beginning of the match.
Right.
It's going to spill out everywhere. So I think in that respect, the only problem with that is then I feel like you're going to miss shit. More so for the people that are there live. The camera will pan to whatever's happening, but you know what I mean.
Well, here's my question. They didn't specify anything. Is this an elimination? Like you eliminate teams as you go, or is it just like winner takes all after all 6 teams?
The impression I got is it's a winner takes all. It didn't sound to
Climb
me
the ladder,
like
get the things, yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's what it sounded like.
How would they work an elimination with a ladder match?
Well, that's
You
true,
just
too.
have to have
That's
nothing
what you're saying. Yeah.
nothing dangling and just do pinfalls. Like, remember the one time they did a TLC match with the Shield against the Wyatts, and they had pins instead of having something above the ring? They could do something like that.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. It's kind of weird how they're doing it. That's it. Oh God, David Rosca. I hope not.
This may be a controversial one then.
David, I appreciate all you contribute to the show. Stephanie McMahon is not coming back to the WWE. That's already been debunked.
You
Yeah, I
got a
don't
better
think
chance
so.
of Nadia coming out of retirement.
It's not happening. But I will tell you
And
something
scoring a
I did.
perfect 10.
But I will tell you something I did hear that sounds like it's going to happen.
What's that?
Brock Lesnar might be returning.
Oh.
He has also been added back to the active roster page, which I saw was debunked by one. But now I'm hearing more reports that WWE is actively looking to bring him back. It just sucks that now you have this match with Sami Zayn because you could have brought him back in time to do this thing with Gunther, and we still could.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine they just bumped Sami Zayn out the way because Brock is coming back?
Well, the funniest thing.
Wait. You know what they should do? They're not going to, but and I love Sammy. This sucks, but you know what they should do? The match,
Brock
like
come in and
Sammy.
fuck him up.
Well, no, Sammy. His music hits. He's coming out. All of a sudden, he gets ransacked from behind. F5 off the stage. Sammy's dead. Brock comes down and kills Gunther and wins the title. And when I mean kills him, still has a great match. But
you know what would have been funny though is if Sammy thought he won the gauntlet match, just like Ali thought he won the Money in the Bank that one year, and then you heard dun 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 dun, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, "Your final competitor, Brock Lesnar," and then he just F5s the fuck out of him.
Oh.
But there have been rumors going around, and there was even a tweet about it the other day that there might be a special guest referee for one of the main events. So
see, I was hearing that too, and part of me
Brock's
is thinking,
heavily invested in Roman and Cody.
I think it would be more if they're going to do a special referee enforcer. I think it's going to be Austin. I think that's how you bring him in, and then it's thunders for everybody.
Yeah, but
it'll be an Austin special
have
guest
to do
referee
storyline wise with Cody Rhodes.
You know what would be a great special guest referee? If you put CM Punk, if he's healthy enough to do McIntyre's and Rollins match.
But I mean, didn't he mess up his shoulder? I don't think he can do this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's healthy enough, I don't know how healthy he'll be then.
He's going to be on TV next week, though.
Well, yeah, they're in Chicago,
right? They're in Chicago, so of course.
Yeah, so he might be who knows? He might be announcing some type of involvement in going into WrestleMania.
That's true.
Very possible. He could be doing commentary for WrestleMania as well. That could be the announcement.
I would love CM Punk and Pat McAfee.
You might get Cole, Punk,
Sorry,
and McAfee. So David Ross is coming. How about these Brock Lesnar allegations? So here's what the allegation was. The allegation was a screenshot, and then part of her the court complaint from this woman was that Vince McMahon offered this woman's sexual services in exchange for Brock Lesnar extending his contract. That's about as far as it went. It never implied that Brock asked for that, wanted it, accepted it, did it. It doesn't seem like Brock. To me, it seems like after many months and many lawyers looking into this, and they probably checked his phone and everything, and the guy's probably got a fucking flip phone, knowing Brock Lesnar. The guy kills buffalo with his bare hands. I don't think he's got an iPhone. But anyway, my assumption is if he's back in the games and back on the roster and they're talking to him, they've done their due diligence. They've figured out whether or not Brock Lesnar was involved in the way that Vince McMahon and other people were involved. So,
I mean, not for nothing. He's got Sable as home. What the hell does he need Janelle Grant for?
Right. Yeah. So I was confused about that too. But that's the thing. Yes, what exists are screenshots and statements from this woman that Vince McMahon offered sexual relations to Brock. Yeah, again, what we never found out was if Brock.
The only other thing that we heard from that is that they claim the only reason why it didn't happen was because Brock couldn't fly because of weather issues. So they're claiming that he accepted the invitation, he just couldn't get there because of weather. Whether or not that's true, who the fuck knows?
Right.
But I mean, I say you bring him back.
Well, if they wouldn't even be thinking about it if they didn't do some sort of investigation first. That's what, especially now, not just WWE being a small-ish company, being owned as part of this UFC TKO thing. There's a much, much larger human resources and legal department. So I think that they probably vetted it very, very thoroughly before.
Right, because I still don't understand what necessarily so Brock would have cheated on Sable with someone. I still don't understand what the big deal is that he has to be erased from the company.
Because
They all do that.
It wasn't as simple as that.
It was part of a contract negotiation. It was in
Right.
exchange for
But
renewing his
they
contract.
never saw. There was never an actual written contract. It was just text messages. That's what I'm saying.
That can be used as a contract, though.
It's the same way. Like if somebody owes, you borrow $100 from somebody, hey, I'll pay you back. Like same kind of verbal contract, but in text form, I guess. I don't. It's
but that doesn't cause job
it's a form.
liability. That's
It's basically a they're looking at it as a prostitution ring, and Vince is the head pimp.
Well,
and
that we know, right? Okay,
this
I see
girl
what you're
out,
saying.
so, you know what I mean? So it becomes a legal issue, and they're public,
Right?
and
Like when you're talking about like what happened, like with John Laurinaitis, that makes sense because that was clear, concise, and everything. I'm saying Brock Lesnar's involvement wasn't as intertwined as like John Laurinaitis's role. I'm saying the only.
I think it was a knee-jerk reaction to just.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
His name was in the headlines.
But you know what, though? But it's interesting because as far as I've been hearing, people like Triple H and others have also been named, and everything is as normal anyway. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we won't. Nobody will really know anything until and unless this goes to trial. There is still a non-zero chance that they settle out of court for an undisclosed sum. Maybe she gets that $3 million she was asking for initially that he didn't pay, plus a little extra. Or maybe Vince McMahon is old and senile and crazy enough to think he can defend his old ass in court for this shit, and then we get to see everything. Because then there's the before a trial is the discovery period, and the discovery period is when all the shit comes
I can't
out.
Imagine there's any lawyer in the world that would allow Vince McMahon to go through with.
Oh no, I'm sure every lawyer he's talking to is screaming "settle!" Like Jerry McDevitt. Right. Jerry McDevitt, who I think probably retired at this point, is probably calling Vince on the phone every day, going, "Please just fucking settle, please, just fucking, please."
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. They do not want to put him on the stand. He's got too many skeletons in the closet, and they'll all come out.
Not just him. Anybody that was working for the company at the time could be subpoenaed. They could bring in Johnny Ace. They could bring in Hunter, Steph, Shane, Linda, and then ask a whole bunch of personal family. Like they're going to dig into these people's family lives in the way. I mean,
that's why Stephanie stepped down.
And it would be televised.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I would fucking take vacation time to stay home.
I was going to say that's going to be worse than me with the Johnny Depp trial.
Well, yeah, because I remember I was watching it with all the LawTube streamers. Like they would stream the trial, but also have like a row of lawyers zoom in and like comment on the trial as it was happening. So I know that would happen again for the Vince McMahon trial. They would love that shit.
Oh yeah, the Law and Crime channel will have a field day with that.
Oh my god. Yeah, Law and Crime, Ricada Law, all those guys would have.
I was glued to that during Johnny Depp. I was like 7:30 in the morning, get the kids out the door for school, and like log in, let's go.
No, I was driving to McDonald's, getting McDonald's breakfast, and then sitting down and streaming the trial.
Yeah,
it was bad.
So I had to watch Kate Upton for like 2 seconds, but it didn't matter.
You know what else was a really good match? Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch actually was a really good match. It went a lot longer than I expected it to. Becky, of course, went over, but Liv put up a good fight. Liv also almost died, so I hope she gave Becky a big hug in the back because there was a botch that was right on live TV. And if Becky didn't catch her when she did, Liv would have probably broke her neck. But other than that, it was covered up real well. Go ahead.
I thought she was going to turn heel at the end.
I did too. I
don't know why she didn't.
You know what? We all got that feeling, though. So that makes me think like that was their way of planting a subtle seed. And maybe it's coming. I mean, she's on her whole revenge tour. She could go heel. It's possible. Although we did have a big heel turn last night. It looks like Candice LeRae is officially heel.
Oh my God! What the hell was that?
Oh, all right. So
they're using, we always do say this, right? Like some of the best storylines in history are when they take real life situations and put them on TV, and that's exactly what they're doing here with what's her name?
Maxine Dupree.
For those that don't know, at a house show, she had a match. She got booed out of the building. And people went online saying how horrible she is and this, that, and the other. And then, of course, a ton of people came to her defense. Well, now
Right.
they're using this and putting it on TV, and they're using Candice LeRae to be the villain. And boy, did she go heel last night hard, and she said some real fucked up shit. So bad that even Christian from AEW posted about it and said, everyone's trying to be me, which I thought was pretty funny.
that was funny.
But she went hard, and she was like, it's a good thing your dead brother's not here to see this. Like, she went deep, bro. Like, it was, so it was vicious. And I did kind of feel bad for Maxine, so it worked.
Yeah, I was seeing reactions to that online of like, there are people, here's the thing. There is a subset of people out there who are WWE fans. And I know WWE fans span everywhere from lawyers and attorneys all the way down to, somebody else who's not a lawyer and attorney. There are some people out there who still think wrestling's real, is what I'm saying. And I saw some comments online that were, they were like, oh my God, this girl, not that she should be fired or whatever. They were just like horrified that it happened. And I'm like, this was in the script. I don't know if you understand. Like, Maxine okayed this. It's all right. It's okay. But this is the reaction that they want. But it's
well, because the reality is, if
it was just shocking,
there's an amount of people that felt the way I did and kind of in the end really did feel for her, then it's going to do exactly what they want them to do. And you have to give a lot of credit to Maxine, because you're right. She did have to say, yeah, I'm good with it. Use it. So that says a lot about her. And I just want to say something. And I can be as critical as the next person when it comes to people. Mm-hmm. You've heard it here on the show. But the reality is, somebody like Maxine Dupree, who really had no prior experience prior to coming on, and they kind of threw her to the wolves. She's done a hell of a job. She's been through 3 gimmick changes already. And she's made all 3 of them work. The reason why those failed had nothing to do with her. It had to do with the other people involved.
Yep.
And it just didn't work. But now she's developed something that is working. She is working her ass off. The reason why you do house shows is to practice and get better and be in front of a live crowd. There's no reason to boo a girl out of the building like that when she's trying so hard. She really is.
She's not the worst I've seen either.
She ain't fucking Eva Marie.
Thank you. But for the looking that she is, she's really not terrible.
You could tell she wants to be there and she wants to get better.
Yes, 100%.
It's like
she's not like Eva Marie.
Right. It's like the same bullshit they used to give
Isn't that what
Lana.
I said?
When Lana wanted to take a shot at wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's others. Who are other examples? Not just Eva Marie, because she's the most notable.
Cameron.
That's a good one. Cameron was really pretty awful. The cat, she didn't really get better. She just showed her tits all the time.
Right.
I mean, that was like her big thing, but she didn't get better.
Candice Michelle.
Candice Michelle started to get better towards the end of her run. She wasn't great, but she got better.
Okay, Christy Hemme.
See, I didn't think Christy Hemme was terrible.
Oh, she was horrible.
Christy Hemme was not great, but she is the
She was better in TNA than she was in WWE.
I will defend Christy Hemme to the death because she is she is not a good wrestler, but she is the sweetest person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
We had a show. I will tell this really quickly because we got 20 minutes left in the show. But I was working a show where I was the ring announcer, so I was ringside, and my timekeeper was Lucas Sharp, Mr. 203. If you are familiar with Northeastern Indies, you know who Lucas is. But he was ringing. He was timekeeper. He was ringing the bell. I was ring announcing. We had a table at ringside. This show was somewhere in the sticks in Connecticut in a high school, and they had a women's match, and I don't remember who was in it, but they had Christy Hemme as it was 2 TNA girls, so it was probably Velvet and somebody else, but Christy was the special guest referee because we always had a lot of TNA talent coming in. Christy didn't realize, and again, this is why Brock Lesnar would not be a special guest referee for anything, because you don't realize how many times referees have to drop down on their knees and make a count. And a lot of referees wear knee pads under those big, their referee pants. You can't see them because the referee pants are thick and they don't really show creases, but they're wearing knee pads under there because they drop down. They take more front bumps on their knees than anybody else. So Christy is like, they do the first pinfall and she gets down and does it. And then like by the second or third one, she's like, oh, I have to get like slowly. It's like she's getting down by like one knee. Like, you know, like your grandpa would get down to talk to you on Christmas. Like she would get down on one knee and then the other knee, and then she'd start counting. So I start chuckling, me and Lucas make eye contact, and we start laughing. And then she looks at us. And then they go for another near fall, and she has to get down again and starts counting. Then she looks at us and she starts laughing. The match turned into everybody in the place laughing at how bad Christy was as the referee. And then finally, they got to a point where she could obviously count to 3 and end the match. But it was just, that's my everlasting memory is how she was. Oh,
you know what though?
She's so nice. She just went with it.
She's so nice. Ah. But to your credit too. She think about picture Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
A lot of times when Earl would go down for the cover, he would almost slide and lay flat on his belly so that he wasn't constantly hitting his knees. So to your point, we have a Facebook user. She was talking about a real sibling. I thought they were talking about Max Dupree, LA Knight. Okay, I kind of agree. That's not cool, whether it was okayed or not.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, yeah, so that would be interesting if they were like, no, we mean Max Dupree, who mysteriously died in a plane crash or something.
That's why he's not on TV. Yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah.
But, it's just at the end of the day, the girl's trying. I mean, it's, not everyone is going to be shit like Trish Stratus when they first come in and then be a legend by the time they're gone. But, it doesn't.
Okay, so I'll give you a woman.
Yeah, but Tiffany Stratton was like that. Tiffany Stratton hit the worst fucking moonsault I've ever seen in my life when she first started, and now
look at her now. Yeah. They're spot on. Go ahead.
She's improved a lot.
Steve, I'll give you your chick, Jackie Gaeta.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Ms. Jackie,
I'll give you that one.
Was bad and then got better.
No,
started out looking pretty decent, but then got to TV and then was god awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think here's the problem. She got so many bolt-ons that I think all her centrifugal balance and all that shit was thrown off.
That she had all of the same parts when she got into that match with Trish Stratus.
This might be a little controversial, but you know who I think really just never did it in the ring, just was never, and she was there a long time.
Terry?
What's her face? No,
that's another one.
Black, tall, skinny.
Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox, thank you.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. I agree.
I never thought she was ever good in the ring, and she lasted a long time.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, the alcohol just got the best.
Well, I mean, look, Kelly lasted a long time too, longer than we expected.
But got
Kelly
better though.
Was part of that era still of the Barbie doll look.
Yes.
Well, true, but she also got better towards the end. Like when she got her title run, she got better. She wasn't. I mean, I don't think she was champion worthy, but she got a lot better from when she started just dancing around a pole trying to take her shirt off. You know what I mean? She developed, she got better. She started doing moves. You could see she was in the gym working on stuff. And, so you got to give her a little, I don't think she was, I would never put her in the same category as Eva Marie, for example.
Right. No, but I would definitely put Alicia Fox in the same category as an Eva Marie.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that I agree.
And Jackie Gaeta. Yep. Mm-hmm.
No, she wasn't that bad.
Alicia Fox?
Horrible.
Alicia Fox wasn't as bad. Yes, she was.
Alicia Fox was better than Eva Marie.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, she was better than Eva Marie, but
we're comparing a 1 out of 10 and a 2 out of 10.
That shitty,
right? Exactly. A 1 out of 10 versus a 2 out of 10.
Put it in the same category as fucking Dana Brooke.
Steve, I hate to get sidetracked
horrible.
With so little time left. Is that one of those water bottles that has the scent thing to give you a flavor in it, or what is it?
Yeah. So this is the Circle.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So the mouthpiece is a flavor. So as you're tipping the water, it goes through and it gives it the flavor.
Is it?
So it's actually very good. This happens to be fruit punch.
Oh.
And it's very good. Very
good. Steve, I wanted to. We talked about this. One of the main reasons that I came back, because like I said, I've been stewing for a long time. I've been away a long time. It's WrestleMania season. It's starting to, but my reason was the Hall of Fame, and the comments that I've seen are giving me a headache, and I need to school some motherfuckers.
Do your thing.
So I'm reading comments about Bull Nakano, right? And there's people that are saying, "Oh, that's scraping the bottom of the barrel." I'm like, "Fuck you, man."
That's not at all
I'm
scraping
like,
the
Oh my
bottom of the
God.
barrel.
She's a
You
fucking
kidding me?
legend, a badass.
That's people that only saw her watching against Alundra Blaze and never saw any other part of her career.
Yeah, she
I
was.
mean, she
yeah.
was the best, like one of the best, like Joshi's in the in Japan.
Yeah.
She was a legend. She was already like a pretty much of somewhat of a legend, but even before she got to WWE anyway.
Oh,
Absolutely.
for sure.
And then the feuds she had with Medusa in both WWE and WCW, that carried over too.
Mm.
And and look at what Beth Phoenix a couple of years ago, right? She did the whole tribute.
Yeah, with the makeup and everything.
With the makeup, and you got to think also there wouldn't be like an Asuka or a Kairi or a Io without someone like Bull Nakano.
Nope, not at all. You're right.
And okay, so then we go to, I'll skip over to Muhammad Ali. All right. Now, a lot of people would argue that he should have been in a long time ago, and I could agree.
I am actually very surprised it has taken this long.
Yeah,
you know, but go ahead. Sorry.
Definitely. But Muhammad Ali, like I'm seeing, and again, this is my mistake of reading the comments, which I should not fucking do. But it got me riled up, and it's good for entertainment here. So I'm reading things on Muhammad Ali. They're like, "Oh, what did he ever do in wrestling?" I'm like, first of all, do some fucking research before you make your opinion. All right.
Right.
Muhammad Ali. Okay. First, the referee at the first WrestleMania in the main event, and that wasn't even his first appearance. The boxing match with Antonio Inoki, right? Showdown at Shea in the 70s. Plus, he had a little thing with Gorilla Monsoon, I think, and he did a Collision in Korea and stuff like that. And let's not forget that Muhammad Ali's whole persona was based on Gorgeous George.
Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah, people don't. You're right. And it's younger. I feel bad because like here, when I was a kid, we didn't have the bit like we had the internet, but we still traded VHS tapes in the mail. That's how a lot of people got their wrestling, was trading VHS tapes.
Fucking encyclopedia back then.
Right. So like the fact that these kids can't just go back and this boring old wrestling.
When it's so accessible, when information is so accessible nowadays, it drives me nuts. Okay. And then US Express. Okay. I love this, great tag team, Mike Rotunda, Barry Windham, and I get we're gonna have the tie-ins for Bray Wyatt and that, but before I get to that, US Express, first of all, they're legends in their own right for their singles careers. I'm totally okay with them as a tag team going in. This is Barry's second induction into the Hall of Fame. He went in with the Horsemen. He was Bray's uncle. Mike is Bray's father. But they were, they're just absolute legends, and people are just like,
can I just say
understanding something? the big picture,
Can I just ask something? There's still one more announcement left for a spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
How fitting would it be if the last announced induction is Bray Wyatt?
I think it's got to be.
And you can have Bo Dallas induct his brother in, because it sounds like Bo. And it sounds like Bo is on his way back. There have been some videos that are circling that's indicating that he might be following in his brother's footsteps, so to speak.
Right.
So we'll see where that goes. But Eric, go ahead. You can finish up. Sorry.
And then I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about was possible who's going to induct too. So look at Bull Nakano. It's got to be Alundra Blaze. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's the one that makes the most sense. Paul Heyman is kind of hard because there's several people that could or would.
It should be maybe it shouldn't be Tommy Dreamer unless he
It should be Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray.
It would be so funny if Tommy pulled a gun out like he said he was going to do at that one WrestleMania.
It should, but don't forget also, if the WWE did make amends with Brock, they can have
I was
Brock.
thinking about that.
They can have Brock. Can you imagine Brock giving a speech?
But then,
Yeah, but Brock
that's
is
the
not
thing.
the one that's looking to give speeches.
It's got to be like someone who's going to give them. I think, if you want one of the best speeches, it's got to be Bully Ray, I think.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And Tommy Dreamer. Like
And
the two of them
too,
together.
because he'd bring the emotion in there.
Right.
And the passion.
Heck, it could be at the ECW locker room since it's going to be in Philly.
I mean, that's true too. You could have whoever's left that can still make it be there, and
you could have the Sandman out there. You could have, I'm sure AEW wouldn't give two shits if RVD was there.
Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of WWE wants them there. It sounds like they're not happy with them.
Triple H ain't going to have a problem with RVD coming to that.
And then I'm thinking real quick, like, U.S. Express, because, you got to think Bo is going to be the one to induct Bray. So who would induct U.S. Express? I think it'd be great if it was Hogan because of the, the connection with Real American Song and stuff like that. Because
Hogan gets booed a lot lately, though. I don't know if he's the right choice.
Yeah, that's true.
You could use Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh yeah, but he got heat during the pandemic because people just found out that he's not a real, like, people who are apparently born under a rock or born after the year 2000 just found out that Sergeant Slaughter is not a real soldier. But he says, like, he kept up kayfabe for so long that he said he trained at Paris Island and did all this stuff.
Ever since, like, Lacey Evans started making comments and shit.
So now they're saying that that this is the insanity of the world. Sergeant Slaughter is stolen valor.
Oh my God!
What the fuck?
He claimed to be a fucking real. Oh my God!
They're like, but in his biography, it's like, it's kayfabe, you assholes.
So was Colonel Mustafa. So was General Adnan. So was Colonel Crusher. I mean, come on.
Yeah, fucking.
And then Nikolai Volkov wasn't a Bolshevik. Newsflash.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Muhammad Ali. That's an interesting thought to see who would induct him.
Evander Holyfield.
No, Layla.
Oh, maybe,
right. Layla Ali, that makes sense.
She's still alive, yeah.
Stallone.
Oh, Stallone would be a good one.
Or even Mr. T.
Mr. T could come out and talk about his mama for 45 minutes and then introduce him.
Well, no, they were. Look at this way. Mr. T's already in the Celebrity Hall of Fame. Mr. T was also a part of WrestleMania 1. That's also the big reason why U.S. Express, they're all going in. This is Muhammad Ali. It's the 40th anniversary of the first one.
Right. They did the same thing at WrestleMania 20, if you remember. There were a lot of inductions at WrestleMania 20. That was like Hogan and Brain and all this stuff.
There was like 10 of them.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. And it was it was the biggest class. And so I can see why they wanted to do
them
that.
And Pete Rose.
Yes. Well, let's think about it. I have a question. Has every inductee so far, were they part of WrestleMania 1?
Oh, jeez.
They all
that's
were.
A good
that's a good question.
The girl. The only one I don't know is
Bull Nakano didn't wrestle WrestleMania 1, I don't think. That wouldn't make sense.
She was the only one, but I know the tag team did. I know Alundra Blaze did. Didn't she?
Did Blaze wrestle WrestleMania 1?
Yeah. And and actually
I don't know if she wrestled at WrestleMania 1.
She did. And Paul Heyman was actually a photographer during WrestleMania 1. That's when he was doing his photography days and everything. He's right.
Eric, you're really good with the history.
I think Medusa was like still in the AWA at the time.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think she was in WWE.
The only women's match on WrestleMania 1, according to Wikipedia, is Wendy Richter with Cyndi Lauper defeated Leilani Kai with the Fabulous Moolah.
Okay, so how about the guys? Have all the guys that have been inducted? Because Muhammad Ali he was
the referee,
and the U.S. Express was
U.S. Express defended the tag team titles,
right? And like I said, Paul Heyman, I want to say that's when he was working as a photographer, but I don't
PWI
know.
or whatever it is.
That actually might be right. That because he was around WrestleMania, I think one. And he was. I feel like I saw a documentary or something where he.
That's where I'm going from. I want to say it was around the same time because I know when I went to WrestleMania. When I went to WrestleMania 3, I know he was there. I'm sorry, WrestleMania 2. I'm sorry, WrestleMania 2.
Let's think about WrestleMania 1. Who else had an impact in WrestleMania 1? And there you got your next candidate.
But who's still alive?
Well,
that's
tough.
that narrows the decision.
Yeah, but I
even
mean-
shorter.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Greg Valentine's
Well,
already.
I will say this though, then it wouldn't make sense for Bray to get inducted this year.
Also, Muhammad Ali has been dead for like since 2016. So,
Oh boy.
David Rosca, nothing to do with the Hall of Fame, but wants to know when Damian Priest is going to cash in.
WrestleMania.
yeah,
I
think
I think he cashes in at Mania
after the
After the match, though, not pulling a Seth Rollins.
right after. Oh, what if he did that to Rollins?
That's what I think is
Threaded
gonna
Rollins.
Right. That's what I think, because it's the title that's on Raw, and they're all on Raw. And
Well,
obviously
wait.
And he's
It
gonna.
all depends on when he defends the tag team titles, though.
That's what I was just
That's
going to
true.
say.
Yeah.
When is that ladder match happening? Is that going to
Right.
be night 1 or 2? Because that's going to have to be opposite shows. Because there's no way you're going through a ladder match like that and then.
Well, Seth's going to be going against Drew on night 2 because he's already wrestling.
He's already
night
wrestling
1.
in the tag match in night 1. Yeah, he's not going to
So-
double up.
I
Yeah,
can honestly see that ladder match happening opening match night 1.
it's got to be night 1 because you want to, and I think opening match is right because you want to start out things with the It's 2 nights. You don't want people to get like tuned out. If you
That's a
put that,
hell of a way to kick off WrestleMania.
but if you
Yeah,
put
it
that
would
match,
be.
if you put it on Sunday, you're going to have 2 world title matches and that TLC match and whatever women's, like it would be too much if you're
Yeah,
I
spreading
will-
it. Trying to evenly spread it.
I will say this: if I would hate to be the match that follows that ladder match.
Zoe
Yeah.
Stark versus Maxine Dupree.
See, that's the thing. They have to put on a match that no one's going to give a shit about anyway.
Well, anything with
After
shit saying
that.
Starks will get us there.
Well, but think about it.
Yeah.
Like, now, based on what you're saying, Eric, this 1 year is the 1 year I tend to disagree, because I don't think there's going to be one bad card. Like, we were naming the other day people that we feel are going to be left out, and those are all main eventers. Like, I really feel like this is going to be crazy. Like
Like,
the
we don't
worst
know-
match right now I could see is Bailey and Io, and that's not.
I think that's going to be a great match.
and that's
And
a
do
great
we
match.
know
But that's
who-
what I'm saying. It's like the worst of.
That's the weakest of the matches.
That's the weakest.
Right.
Right. That's
If
the right
that's the
verbiage.
weakest of
The
the,
weakest
matches,
match.
then it's damn good cards.
It's a damn good card.
This
right
would be
now.
a hell of a one-night WrestleMania if we just pared it down to like the top 8 matches. But
And then we also don't know who's going for the women's tag titles, do we?
Okay, that'll be the weakest match officially.
It
yeah,
depends
whatever
on,
match
on
that
the,
is,
on the challengers.
Yeah, whatever match that is, I'm going with that one.
they'll make that a TLC as well. There was a comment that somebody asked a question. All right, I think this might have been Tara. Whoever.
Oh,
was
I
first
had it
Facebook
up for a
user.
while.
Yeah, I know we had it for.
We didn't get
Eric
to it.
was laying down knowledge, so we can do it. So Joshi is the Japanese term for a female wrestler. They use puro as their transliteration of puro wrestling. They call it puro, and then Joshi are the female wrestlers. I know no other Japanese. I know kampai. That's when you take a shot.
And on that note,
You know, domo arigato. What are you talking about?
That's true.
we are top of the hour.
Indeed.
Yeah, man.
Indeed. Thanks for not
This
being-
went even quicker than last week.
We need Indeed. Steve, I know I hate your little soundboard over there because it's so loud and interruptive.
You're gonna get a shut up bitch in a second.
I know, but I think it would be really if he had Indeed on there. I would feel
Shut
a
your
little bit better
damn
about
mouth.
it. That's from like PlayStation 2 game. I love that.
Yeah, and
It's-
last
was
but not
terrible.
least, I really think
Yeah,
been a
Tara said,
while.
"Oh, thank you." It said it was Tara. Okay, thank you. So yeah, that was the Joshi thing.
We need to
I think,
record that saying shit Steve. Just to-
when are we getting a rock concert? We've got a few weeks before.
Actually,
Oh,
they're
that's
going to
We
be in
have to have
Tennessee. Apparently, we're going to be in Tennessee coming up, and there are rumors that there will be a rock concert.
It's been so long since we've got one. The
Well,
last one was the Vicky Guerrero one,
And
which is
That
I
was a
bitch,
great one.
You
You
look
look
horrible
horrible
tonight.
tonight.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
take
man.
us home, Vince.
All right. Well, that was the show. I mean, another hour that absolutely just flew by. We're gonna finalize these WrestleMania streaming plans. I think the smart thing to do is after night 1 on Saturday, we're all gonna probably try and group up together sometime Sunday afternoon before the festivities start and review night 1, so we don't have to try and squeeze night 1, night 2, and Raw after Mania into one big broadcast. And then even then, the Tuesday show after WrestleMania is probably going to go 90 minutes just so we can get everything in. Tara does agree. I know I need one. Play the thing. Play diddle it. There it is. Anyway, Rock said, "No, you're rolling. Shut your mouth." Yes, indeed, David. That's been the show. Thank you for tuning in. We're here every Tuesday. Oh, one more diddle. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that because when I think about summertime fun, I think about Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, Cleveland rocks.
Well, we know the
You
Miz
can
is
go to
hosting.
Cedar Fair. That's about it.
We know for a fact the Miz is probably hosting that one.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I guess there's stuff to do in Cleveland aside from meth, but yeah, interesting choice. But it's going to be at the football stadium, right?
I think so.
Brown
Yeah.
Stadium.
I think it's going to be at the Browns Stadium. I saw somebody comment on the logo for SummerSlam, and they said it was too chrome, like the text had too much chrome on it, and it should be a little more rusty to properly represent Cleveland. But I don't know. They must be from. Yeah, now that would be great. Now, if that SummerSlam starts off with Michael Cole saying hello Cleveland, and Pat McAfee saying hello Michael, yeah, or R-Truth saying it. There we go. That'll make SummerSlam. But anyway, we're here streaming 1 hour every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you're not on the East Coast, adjust. We did just go through daylight savings time, so if you made it, you made it. I noticed we had less viewers today than we usually do, so I feel like a couple people got caught in that time vortex.
That messed me up.
Yeah, it still messes me up too because my stove, like everything else, changed because they're all electronics that are like on the internet except for my stove. So my living room and my stove had I felt like I was going between time zones when I walked into a different room. But regardless, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we stream all over the internet. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Twitter/X. We're streaming on Steve's LinkedIn. The Facebook, you can look for either Tag Me a Date. You can search for The War Report. That is a Facebook group. Myself and Steve have our personal Facebook pages streaming it, as well as my Facebook fan page, which is at OSnapVince on Facebook. Steve's LinkedIn, as I said. The YouTube is Tag Me a Date. Most of our social media is at Tag Me a Date. That's no spaces. It's all one word, Tag Me a Date. On YouTube, when you search for that, you will find our channel. Hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when we go live or upload a video. On Twitch is a different username. It's twitch.tv/War Report, WARREPORT. Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, and most other social media platforms. And is at Tag Me a Date as well. Same thing as the YouTube. And that'll do it. Oh, well, there's also the audio version. So we have the video version up on Twitch and up on YouTube, and then you can go back and check out the archive from there. If you prefer the audio version instead of the video version of the podcast, you can just go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Search for The War Report or Tag Me a Date, and it should come up. There are 2 wrestling podcasts called The War Report, but for ease of use, we have made a graphic and the description of the podcast when you go on your podcast app to reflect Tag Me a Date and all of our branding. So look for that, hit subscribe, and within the hour of us going off the air, the audio MP3 is uploaded to your mobile device or tablet, and then you can take it with you wherever you need to take your podcasts with you that day. Pop in your AirPods and take the War Report to go. That'll do it, I think, for us. We don't have any other plugs or anything else to get out. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat today. I think it was mainly Tara and David. It does say Facebook users, so if Kevin or the other David is in there, I apologize, and thank you for your comments. And if you are listening now and you say, hey, that sounds like fun, I want to be in the comments, well, you got to listen to the live stream instead of the MP3 version, or instead of going to the YouTube after we're done. You have to be here live so you can get in the chat, and you can mix it up with Tara and David and Kevin and everybody else that jumps in there. That'll do it for us today. Have a good one. We'll be back next week, next Tuesday, for another edition of the War Report after dark at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Have a good week, everybody.